Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran. Recently I swapped my hunter from the Venthyr to Necrolord to try out the new Necro legendary because the sims are looking juicy. But if you are like me that wants to switch a covenant, whether it is to be competitive in PvP or in dungeons, maybe the meta has shifted, maybe you just want to try out a wacky build or just do something different for one of your old characters, right now is the perfect time in patch 9.1 to swap your covenants because the Renown catch-up is super aggressive. You're literally tripping over Renown as you're just doing dailies and Renown quests and the story stuff, and there's just so much Renown in the game right now that if you were to switch, I decided to kind of give my experience of switching covenants as well as my tips on the Renown grind, what gives the most Renown and what should you do first if you are switching for the most efficient Renown grinding. So let's start this video by breaking down every one of the activities that gives you Renown, how efficient those activities are, and exactly which ones should you invest the most of your time into in order to catch back up on your ults. Starting off with the story is going to be your number one best, most effective way of catching up with Renown. Every single story quest is going to give you double Renown. This is especially important when you're starting out at lower Renown points. On some of my other old characters that are at 40 Renown, they aren't gaining double Renown. So this double Renown is active while you are at the lower numbers, and you're between the 10s and the 20s, maybe even low 30s. So this double Renown doesn't last forever, so the best thing to do is to maximize and milk it for as much as you can. And the best way of going about it is just to jump into the story as soon as you can. As soon as you have enough Renown to start the story, continue through the whole thing. With flying, you're literally flying through the content. Getting from A to B is very easy, and if you have a geared character, then toppling mobs as well as killing bosses for the story quests is also very quick. Another activity in patch 9.1 that has been recently hotfixed is Torghast, and Torghast now will reward Renown for any characters that still need Renown. The higher the level of the floor, the higher the chance that you'll get Renown from it. So doing 12s, which are not really easily spammable because these are layer 12s, they are quite difficult. They do need a bit of item level or even luck in the power. So if you are going to be running Torghast, there's a good chance you'll want to run these as a weekly activity, but not really a spammable activity. So if you are planning on swapping a character from one covenant to another, you might want to delay running your Torghast runs until you make the swap, because then this way you'll just run your Torghast like you would and get Renown on top of it, Renown that's very necessary to get through the Renown grind of your new covenant. World bosses are also fantastic for Renown. They take about 5 minutes to do. They usually reward you with pretty decent gear, especially on a brand new started out character, and the Renown they give you is quite substantial. Morgath, the brand new world boss that was added in patch 9.1, for my hunter did reward me with 2 points of Renown, and also a chance at gear, which can be pretty good if you have a starting out character and need a bit of item level. The original world bosses that can spawn in either of the 4 zones of Shadowlands also drop Renown. Both of the world bosses with the LFG tool to just be able to get a bunch of people together generally take about 5 minutes to do each, maybe even less, which means this is really easy Renown for basically almost no effort, just a little bit of your time. So it's definitely worth doing at least once a week if you are trying to catch up with Renown on your characters. Callings are also fantastic, and callings will let you know ahead of time if they will reward Renown. With how easy world quests are to do with the flying mount, you should be able to fly from one quest to another, or even reach those hard to reach treasure chests for certain callings to loot treasures. Killing rares is also really easy, and what I really like about callings is you can store up 3 of them at a time, so I don't need to log on every single day on that old character to do every one of my callings. I can actually just wait 3 days, then pick up 3 of my callings all at once, do them in a single setting, and that's 3 Renown right there. So if you're someone with not a lot of free time but wants to maximize that time, callings I think are fantastic if you don't really have every single day to log on that character to farm that Renown. We also have Covenant Assaults, which are bi-weekly activities, and bi-weekly I mean twice a week activities, starting off on the server reset and then around the weekend time, Friday for NA, late Friday, and I think it's late Saturday for EU. But there are activities that reward Renown. They generally take a little bit more time than callings or any of the other activities we mentioned so far. Callings, however, do provide some very important resources like Soul Cinders. Soul Cinders will be used in order to craft some of your higher ranked legendaries, and if you're someone aspiring to craft those higher ranked legendaries on your ults, then Covenant Assaults should be on your list of priorities.
But Covenant Assaults also reward Renown. They're also pretty decent for catch-up gear. They can give quite a bit of AP, or if you're someone who's just a mount collector, they have a chance of giving you mounts and I believe also pets of the different covenants, depending on which covenant it is. Like if you're Night Fae, you can get one of the recolors for the Gorm mounts. And those you have to do on that alt character only twice a week. They are a little bit longer to complete compared to some of the other activities, so they're not super efficient. But if you are trying to play the character semi-seriously, maybe even get them a decent legendary, you definitely should put these on your to-do list. Outside of that, we have regular activities like raiding, dungeons, and PvP that have a chance to give you Renown. These are found to be super inconsistent. At the very early levels of Renown, when I'm just doing a BG, maybe I'm trying to make a new legendary for my survival hunter, trying something new, which is exactly what I was trying to do, PvP was actually rewarding me decent amount of Renown. Same thing with dungeons. It felt like every single heroic gave me decent amount of Renown. Hell, even doing some of the bosses on LFR, each one didn't take too long, each one rewarded me with Renown. But as I'm climbing closer towards the 40 Renown mark, as I got my hunter back towards 38 or so, it doesn't feel like any of those activities are a guarantee of Renown. Without doing a billion heroic dungeons to see if there is some RNG chance or to figure out the percentage of getting Renown from heroics, I believe that either Renown is aggressively pushed at you while you're at low level, and then as you get towards the higher Renown levels, it's a chance of rewarding a Renown and will require for you to do more challenging content like mythics drop in Renown, where heroics will become a chance to get Renown. Maybe like rated BGs will always drop your Renown, while random BGs will have a chance of dropping Renown, and could be same thing with raids. Doing them a normal, heroic gives you a higher chance, but not a guarantee. At least that is my guess, because that's more or less how it feels. These activities are perfect when you're first starting out, but also not efficient. BGs, you don't always win them. Dungeons can take a bit of a while depending on your group, and LFG, LFR also can take a bit of a while depending on your group. This is why I don't recommend this to do as a very first activity, because the other activities on this list are a lot more efficient and definitely reward you a lot more Renown for very little effort. But outside of that, once you exhausted every other avenue, these are the only ones you have left. So that's, I think, where I'm probably going to slow down on my hunter, wait until I have a couple callings available, and then blast through Renown with those activities instead. Besides that, you have the same activities that your main might be doing, like fill up the Korthia bar, killing rares over in Korthia, looting treasures, competing in activities, or maybe even doing some activities in the mall. All helps to fill up the bar. And also the anima quest with Korthia and how much anima that drops a day, you are going to be able to fill up that weekly quest in a single sitting. So those are still going to be available for your alt characters as well, but those are not the fastest. They're kind of once a week type of deal, and they will be used in order to catch up to your main if you need it. But all the other activities I think should be a priority for you, especially when you first switch, because they are quicker and they kind of speed you to the progress. But that's going to be the end of the video with everything we saw from the Renown catch-up. As you can see, it's very, very quick. For my alt character, I was able to basically go from a Renown level 37 Venthyr hunter to a Renown level 38 Necrolord hunter, all in a single sitting. So if you utilize the tips that I left in this video, you'll probably be able to do the same thing. Renown catch-up is really easy, so if you're someone who is feeling daunted and you really don't want to have to regrind the Renown all over again for a different covenant, I really think it's worth. If you have any bit of free time, you could do it. Flying and the gear of 9.1 makes this miles easier, especially the story stuff, which will get you through the bulk of that Renown progress. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Good luck in your character swapping Renown. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be swapping to a different covenant on any of your characters, whether you're going for the meta or you're trying out maybe a different wacky build. Let me know all that stuff in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. You let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about this video. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next one.